So here's the situation. You've got one of your end users and they are on a Windows 7 professional machine. You have set up a Windows 8 machine for them and you want to go ahead and migrate them. In this MicroNugget, we'll take a look at the Windows Easy Transfer tool that's going to make it a snap to take that account and all their stuff and transfer it over to that new Windows 8 machine. This is a slice of my Configuring Windows 8.1 course here at CBT Nuggets. So we begin on the Windows 7 source machine. We do a search for Windows Easy Transfer and we launch this utility. Notice it says, hey, you can transfer stuff easy. Great, thank you. We choose next. It says, okay, how are you going to transfer? You're using an easy transfer cable, you're using a network, or you're using like a thumb drive. As a matter of fact, I'd like to go ahead and use that external drive option. So let me find one, and then let me plug one into this source Windows 7 machine. Okay, great, done. We can see we have the ability to explore it. Great, it was recognized. So I'm going to say, all right, great, that's the option I want to go. And I'm going to say, this is my old computer. And it says, all right, let me scan the accounts that are on this old computer. What a really insulting thing to call this computer old, by the way. I mean, they really should say mature, right? Okay, so here we don't want the trainer account. We don't want the admin account. It's this John S. account that we are interested in migrating. So I deselect everything but John S. Notice we have the ability to customize what we're grabbing. By default, we're going to grab absolutely everything associated with this account, including their documents, music, pictures, everything, their Windows settings. You got to love how simple this is. I choose next. We can password protect it. A great idea. In fact, we have to. Now let me slow down as I type this password so I can properly confirm it. There we go. And it says, all right, where are you going to store this MIG for migration file? I love it. So we're going to go and we're going to find our particular thumb drive. There it is. We have an old transfer file here. Let me go ahead and delete that and then go ahead and save this MIG file to that thumb drive. All right, that is how easy it's going to be on the source machine, right? It's going to save all that stuff for us, give us a progress complete bar there on the John S. account. And now, as you might guess, we are going to move over to the destination system. And again, just to remind you of what operating systems we're dealing with here, our source was Windows 7 Professional. Our destination is going to be the Windows 8.1 Enterprise version. So it gives us some idea on what we need to do next, and we can go ahead and close that utility and slide over to our new machine. Here we are on the 8.1 machine. I'm going to do a search for Windows Easy Transfer. There it is. Notice similar interface to our 7.0. Yes, we've already saved a migration file on an external drive. Here it is. And it says, okay, what's the password on that? I provide it. And it says your settings can't be transferred. Windows Easy Transfer can only transfer files. What's going on with this? Well, it's not completely true. There are some settings that can be transferred, but it's giving us this dialog because it realizes, look, you were on a Windows 7 device. Now you're moving over to 8.1. So a lot of aspects of the profile don't translate. I mean, great example would be start screen settings, right? There's no such thing as the live tile arrangement and all that in Windows 7. So we say okay, and we choose the transfer for this John S. account. It is going to set up this account for us on this local machine. It is going to transfer the files and resources for this John S. user, and it's going to do as many settings as it possibly can. But again, many of those won't transfer thanks to the dramatic jump that we have here in operating system. All right, it says our stuff has been transferred. Now, some confirmations here. Well, sure, how about I go over to user accounts? Yeah, if we fire up the user accounts window and say manage another account, there it is. We now have the John S. local account, and we'll be prompted to change that password on login, by the way, with that particular account. If we go to the file system, Let me bring our interface back. If we go to the file system and we go to users, we see, sure enough, there is the John S. account. We look inside the documents folder, and there is an important document that John S. had on that earlier Windows 7 machine. So in this MicroNugget, we have examined the Windows Easy Transfer tool, and we have discussed this option for moving accounts from one system to another, one of our options for migration. In an enterprise type of an environment where we have thousands of users that we want to migrate, we would look at the user state migration tool, which is part of the deployment kit from Microsoft that you can download. Well, I sure hope this MicroNugget has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.